My name is Ralph. I'm an alcoholic. And I'd like to wish the people who celebrate birthdays happy birthday. And I really want to welcome the people who are new to Alcoholics Anonymous. Um, it was exactly 39 years ago yesterday. To our new friends, you might find it interesting that people clap. We clap for you. And you'll say, what did I do to earn it? To be the last person to run out of my own personal burning house. Right? And Grace found me 39 years ago. I'm from Los Angeles originally, and I'm still in Los Angeles, been there all my life. And I see a bunch of the people in the squares behind me that are good friends of mine and have let me have a front row seat into whatever is going on in their life. And I'm humbled. I never thought that for me, the highlight of my weekend will be sitting at one of these meetings. So this crew that's sitting right here, I know that for you, you're not at the same meeting the rest of us are at. Some of you might be, because I know we got two categories of newcomers. We got the new newcomers, we shiny, we new, we're fresh, what's going on here? Who runs this place? I was at a meeting last night and somebody was reading chapter 5. And as he was reading, somebody was sitting right behind me and they were whispering, rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. And they went word for word, and it was music that I never thought would be music to me, right? I never thought that that would be something that I would sit back and it would wash over me and it would make me feel at home. And when I hear chapter 5, that's interesting, and you might think to yourself, why is that a big deal that a lady was sitting back there and she was reciting without reading what the person was reading? And I remember when that was a big deal to me. I remember coming up to the podium and being asked to read chapter 5. Now, tonight I'm asked to come out here and talk to you guys, but I don't know if it was more terrifying being asked to read chapter 5 in those early days. And I remember when I got to the point, you guys, and I don't know how many months in I was in, but I got to the point where I read chapter 5. And I would raise my hand and read it. And I would read, and I'd be looking up at you guys as I was reading it. I'd be saying, rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely get. And I remember when that was a big deal for me. Why is that a big deal for you, Ralph? Why is it a big deal that you, because I realized something was happening to me. I'm a guy that grew up, and when the J5, I'm an old guy, so I remember albums, and when the albums would come out, I got 5 brothers, and me and Ronnie particularly, we would be going down and we go down to the record store, we buy this album, and we come back, and on some of the albums, on the back, they'd have the lyrics, but on other ones, they wouldn't. And you have to keep listening to the album over and over, and then you want to learn the lyrics and you want to know them. And I can tell you, I got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, because I remember the lyrics, because it was important. It was what I loved. And when I came into Alcoholics Anonymous and I fell in love with the music and I started learning the lyrics and I started knowing the tune. And at first I just knew the words, but now I'm here to tell you guys, I know the song. I know what it means. It's in your boy. It is in me. It is who I am. It is what I am. And everything that I am, I signed up for the whole package. I came in here for the Just Don't Drink and Use package, but I didn't know what was waiting on me. I want to share with you guys. I only have a little bit of time tonight, but I want to share with our new friends, and I want to share with some of our old friends what's on offer in Alcoholics Anonymous, what's really on offer and what's available. Because what it is that we do, sometimes I think that this deal is, and it's if you knew, and we got a couple of meetings going on. I'm talking to the new people right now. If you knew, keep the main thing the main thing. The main thing is I got to get the gorilla off the block. Make no mistake about it. I'm going to share about some other stuff right now. But when I was coming in here, man, I was 33 years old and I had been on a long and vicious and ugly run. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not built for the streets, but I'm a street guy. I'm not built to be doing the aimless walk, but I'm an aimless walker. I'm not built to be a guy that don't dream and don't hope and don't have ambition, but I'm a guy who crushed my dreams and no longer celebrated Christmas and didn't know nothing about birthdays. I'm not that guy, but I'm that guy because I got that thing, and that thing overwhelms me. It takes out of the picture the guy that grew up, with hope. It takes out of the picture the guy that grew up making his mom proud. It takes out of the picture who grew up making his high school, his college girlfriend just have dreams about what we were going to do with our lives. But I got that thing, and it obliterates. It takes away. In my case, I'm what is called in our literature sometimes, not in our big book, but you see it I'm one of the ones who were known as a last gasper. I did not come up in here on a winning streak. I was 33 years old and I had some things in life. I'm a high achieving guy. I'm used to accomplishing. I'm used to making my mom proud. First kid off my block to go to college. Grew up in a pretty, I grew up in a tough town, but I'm not a tough guy. I grew up in Watson, and me and my brothers grew up there, but we were schoolboys and we were, high achieving guys. And so I start drinking at 18 and I get into it. And it took me a minute because I'm not the one whose first drink, transcended, life changing. I'm going to be drinking for the rest of my life. I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that it crept on. I'm the guy that it came up on and I didn't see it coming, and I'm the guy I'm a party guy. So I'm 18 years old. I'm out at this major university and we had a sister school. I went to UCLA and our sister school was Berkeley. And in the 70s, I'm an old guy. And we used to come up and play. That's when Berkeley was Berkeley and when they had, those days. And I used to come up and I remember one time we had a road trip. And we came up to play Cal, and me and my boys came, and there was a jazz festival that weekend too. So we came up early and we did this jazz festival, and I went to the game and I have to get ready, you guys. So I got to get mine in before we go. And so we go to the game and then we go to the jazz festival, to the concert that night. I'm getting mine on too tough. So by the time we hit the concert, I'm already out. I threw up over the whole row of people in front of me. Passed out. They take me home, they give me home the next day, and I put it on again, pass out, get in the car, go back to LA, get back to the campus. They say, man, I said, man, we had a hell of a weekend. Man, drugs and alcohol will make you, think you swear you partying. And then, you'll be told, I didn't remember nothing. Be tearing me up, make me swear I'm partying. That's a snapshot of the way I was living. And so I'm doing that, man, and it's fun in games till it ain't fun no more. And it ain't games no more, but I don't recognize that. I'm in it way past the time of expiration, so in 1979, I probably was across the invisible line when alcohol ceased to be a luxury for me and became a necessity. I get married when my girl should have been running from me, but she still had some hopes and I get married and then it really got ugly because I got this thing. And me getting loaded is like having sex with a gorilla. You ain't through till the gorilla's through. Homage to my boy Strange. And so and the cool thing about it is, if the gorilla's got me and I got you, the gorilla's got you too. Family disease, alcoholism. It's ugly. It's deadly. I got a lot of stories, but I don't have a lot of time to tell them. I hear a lot of people share that my alcoholism is out to get me. You know what I'm saying? My alcoholism wants me dead. I don't quibble with any of that. when people share it, because I understand, the metaphor. I understand why we say it. But to me, what's scarier to me is my alcoholism ain't out to get me, and my alcoholism ain't trying to kill me. My alcoholism has no conscience, and it is not alive. It is implacable. It don't care. Ralph, it ain't personal. It's like cancer. Cancer ain't out to get me. It's doing what it do. And it's ugly. And it's grinding. And it's monotonous. And it's relentless. And it takes everything from you. I'm not a hard guy and I'm not a bad guy. Guys like me, I always say, should come with warning labels. When you get your bad boy that you with, girls, you know what you got. You're going to go up to every month, you're going to go up to the spot where Rick works. You're going to put money on the books. You know who he is. I'm going to be Bonnie to his Clyde. I'm going to be his rider. But see, you don't know what you're getting when you sign up for Ralph. Because I don't ever call you out your name. I ain't never slung. I've never called any woman that's ever been in my life. I ain't never slung the B word at you. I ain't never cuss you out. I get mad, but I'm not a voice raiser. I ain't putting hands on you. I'm none of that. I'm none of that. But I suck you dry. If you have any ounce of love that you show me, I take it. I step on you. I don't mean to. I'm not trying to. It ain't personal. It's something working with me that's working with you that's bigger than me and you. And when I'm in the life, there's two categories of people that's in my life. Marks and Vicks, period. And the cold piece to that, if I'm gonna be in the life, I wish I was built different, but it bothers me. I wasn't raised like that. It bothers me when I get kicked out the house and stay at my mama's house and my wife comes over and she asks me for something and she said, don't you care about your little girl? It bothers me. But I got that thing and I don't know what I'm working with. And I lay down at night and I get visits from the enemy. Your conscience. Come visiting late at night when all the money's gone. What happened to you? You used to want to go to work in the morning. What happened to you? You used to want to do something with your life. What happened to you? So I get kicked out the house the year 1985, go to stay at my mom's house. There was a goal I had in life, overriding goal over every other goal. I'm not going to be my daddy. When I grow up, I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. That's when you use that sentence. When I grow up, ... When I grow up, my kids are going to know who their daddy is. When I grow up, my kids are going to grow up in a house where they feel safe, loved, and protected. When I grow up, my kids are going to always have a parent, both parents under one roof. When I grow up, and when I grew up, the day that my daughter was born, I couldn't make it to the hospital. Had been to the Lamaze classes, had been to the hospital when we had the false alarm. When rain came onto this earth, my wife called me at the time, said they're going to induce labor in 2 hours. You need to get here. She shouldn't have said 2 hours. Didn't matter what she said. But anything was opportunity for me. I called my brother Ronnie. I said, we got the house to ourselves. Didn't make it. Starting off. So when I get put out the house and go to stay at my mama's house, I want to be a father to my little girl with everything in me. My ex-wife thought it was something salvageable about this piece of man she married. We'll bring my daughter over on Saturdays to keep a father-daughter relationship. And I wanted to take my daughter to Disneyland and Magic Mountain, wanted to take her to a movie on a Saturday afternoon. Wanted to walk up the street to the store with her little hand and my big hand, take her to the store and buy her some ice cream. Wanted to sit her in my lap and read stories to her. Wanted to tuck her in bed at night, get a good night kiss and the best and I wanted more than anything the look that I've seen the men in the fellowship good, the look like this is my daddy and this is my hero, and the best I could do was 30 minutes. Tell my mom something like I'm going to the store to buy Rain some ice cream. I disappeared, sneak back on Sunday night when her mom was coming to get her. Still remember some of them long Sunday nights sticking my head around the side of my mama's house. And I'd have the tears flowing, and through the tears, I see those two heads in the car and those headlights backing out. And I think to myself, there goes my life backing out this driveway. Heard a lot of people share they were scared of dying out there, and that's not my story. Never scared of dying, scared I was going to keep waking up to the same old thing. Monday, the same as Tuesday, the same as Sunday, the same as Christmas, over and over and over again. And I'm so glad God don't make misery comfortable. And it seems that October the 10th dawned like any other day in 1986. Just another day of hustling, just another day of scuffling, just another day of doing the walk, just another day of hoping I was going to come up on something, just another one of those long days. And that night, a couple of youngsters accosted me, and they, best, worst day of my life. Because when that interaction with those youngsters was over, it ended up with me the next morning dodging a black truck 5 blocks to my mama's house. Those youngsters had relieved me of some money, and I owed another youngster some money that day, and I had sucked on his pistol before. And so I was dodging a black truck that next morning, and I made it to my mom's back door. And those series of events are turning points for me. You know, they are dots that later on I connected. The first dot that I connected was I never knew Grace would see me with the pants sagging. I never knew. Oh, had I known, I thought those youngsters were jackers. Those youngsters were angels. They escorted me to you. The first dot, they were the first in a series of events. Those 2 young men with their pants sagging. If I could find them today, I'd kiss them. Angels with dirty faces, you know, and so I saw, and so they propelled me to go do some other stuff, which led me to dodge this black truck. Second dot. Later on, the truck I was dodging, this young man ended up being a personal trainer of mine 2 or 3 years ago. He's not in the life no more. You know, he's not in the life. And so me and Don were walking, and I said, Don, do you remember way back, man, that night you chased me? He said, Ralph, I ain't never chased you in my truck. I said, well, brother Don, you didn't. Turns out, apparently, he was just driving. But I knew I owed him money, so I'm running. And I think I'm running from the black truck, but I'm zigzagging my way to you. Never knew it. Second time. Oh, what kind of God is that? You writing a story for your boy? I don't even know I'm in it. That's why a lot of times, think about the metaphors that's used, our personal adventures. Hereafter in this drama of life, our guy, he's like the actor. You know, oh my God, he gives us a way out, you guys. That stuff that you in right now, that stuff that you in that seems so demoralizing, and it is, that stuff that you in that seems like, oh, I can't look. I don't want nobody to know. It's so dirty. It's so, I'm jumping in and out of cars. I'm in an abandoned house. I'm doing stuff that I don't want nobody to know I was doing. You know, we call them, incomprehensible demoralization, but Bill gives me a way out. He says, Ralph, those are your adventures. Personal adventures before. Oh my God, he's writing a story for me. You're sitting in here and you think that you were sent here against your will. Oh my God. You mean God has been looking for me all this time? You mean the grace is available to me? There is nothing else, you guys. I'm here to report there ain't nothing else. I don't have to go and look for it. The grace is available. We have 12 steps that allow me to get enough me out of the way that I make myself available to the grace. We got a real easy formula for that. You grow God, you shrink wrap. I suffer from an illness, only a spiritual experience and conquer. Didn't know that. Didn't know that's what I was working with when I came. I was 33 years old. I did not have a driver's license. I didn't have any place to stay. We talk about these 12 steps of ours. And our first step, that surrender. A lot of times when we get here, we make it, and I do. There were some things I needed to read about in the doctor's opinion. I needed to read that there was something physically different about me. I didn't know that. I suspected there was something physically different, but I thought I had high capacity. I thought that was the physical difference. Don't run with the big boys if you can't run with them. No, dude. When you put one in you, something takes place that only takes place in about 10% of the population. We don't know whether or not you were born without a regulator, or we don't know whether or not you're born and you got a broke regulator. We don't know which one. It don't matter. But when you take one, something happens in your body. What? Is something physically different about me? It only happens in about 10% of the people. That when you take one, you get thirsty. Oh, really? Really? Yeah, that don't happen to me. Ralph, ask yourself, how many times did you say I'm just gonna spend 20? What happened? Whole paycheck. How many times did you say I'm just gonna stop off at happy hour? What happened? Whole paycheck. How many times did you say I'm gonna stop off over here at my boy Rick's house for a couple of minutes? What happened? Whole paycheck. Ralph, did it happen once? Did it happen twice? If your name is Ralph, every 2 weeks from 1979, 1985, whole paycheck. My experience, not yours, not my sponsors, not the oldest old timer in the room. My experience abundantly confirmed to me when I take one anything, no matter where I have to go, what I have to do, who I have to see, no matter how great the wish or the necessity, my body takes over and I have to have another. Okay, smart guy. If it's just my body, how do you explain stone sober? My car seemed to drive to the LIQ on payday. Second part of this disease, the mental obsession, the obsession that somehow, someday, I will be able to control and enjoy this magic potion I discovered all those many years ago. Somebody help me. Where's this control and enjoy coming from? Check this out. Anytime I was controlling, I wasn't enjoying. Anytime I was enjoying, I damn sure wasn't controlling. I can't, where does that come from? I can't drink because of my body. I can't stop because my mind won't accept that fact. I'm powerless. Third part of this disease, the spiritual malady. In our big book, it says, Ralph, if you work on the spiritual, the mental, and the physical, to straighten out, that's what we do. Don't get scared. Here we go. Speaker getting ready to hit me with the G word. You can't fool me with that higher power, that spirit of the universe. You can hit me with all that other stuff, but I know what you're getting ready to hit me with. I ain't feeling it. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, the G word just slide out your mouth, but you've been here 39 years. You don't know me. Check this out. I did not come up in here walking toward the light. I came up in here running from the fire. And if your ass is on fire, we got something for you too. Did not know. And that's a real smooth, easy landing. Didn't know it. Every time. That second step. First step is the problem, Second step is the solution. First step, admitting I'm powerless over alcohol and my life is unmanageable. Problem. Second step, came to believe that a power greater than me could restore me to sanity. Steps 1 and 2 are conclusions I draw based on my experience. The rest of the steps, 10-step program action to get to that solution. This coming to believe in this power. And it ain't hard. I don't even know what's happening right now. It's a lot of reasons for going to meetings. There are a lot of people who bash it, and then I never find the need to minimize any part of our program to emphasize another part. Do them all. Meetings are super important. I hit 22 years sober and I hit my third valley. It was at my lowest low in recovery. It was one of the times I couldn't see no way out. I didn't want to pray. The 12 and 12 talks about being seized with a rebellion. I wasn't trying to talk to God. I wasn't trying to holler at God. I was in LaGuardia. I was in O'Hare Airport going somewhere to talk at one of these things, was talking to somebody on the phone. He was still very successful, still had all his stuff, felt like he was cutting me with a knife. I hung up the phone and I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. Have you ever, some of you guys, this old timers, and sometimes I have to check myself. I don't want to say this from the podium because it sounds like blasphemy, but this is how this guy thinks sometimes. And I didn't want nobody to hit me with none of that AA stuff either. You ever heard yourself say that? So I'm about 30 years sober I'm 22 years sober at the time. And if one of you had said, when you saw me in O'Hare, I was crying. I was crying when I got off the phone. If one of you had been coming through O'Hare Airport, if Alice had seen me and said, Ralph, this too shall pass, I'd have socked her in the throat. And I don't even hit women. I hit women, I'd have socked her in the throat. I'm not trying to hit. Just didn't even want to. Couldn't pray. I'm going to give you a freebie. We jumping around tonight because we ain't got a lot of time and we just going to bullet point, but I'm going to give you a freebie. If you ever get in one of them situations, if you ever get to a place that's so dark that you can't pray for yourself, if you ever get seized with a despair that is so overwhelming, you just want to curl up somewhere. If you ever get in that pit of self-pity that just seems like a comfortable place to lay down, if you ever get to the point where I don't believe, that's it. When we have that proposition, either God is everything and he is nothing, and he feel like he's nothing. If you ever get to that part, but you got planet feet, you got trained feet, you got anchorage in Alcoholics Anonymous, you tethered to something so that you don't float off. And I'm tethered to some things. I didn't know it, but I realize it right now. Trained feet in Alcoholics Anonymous. And this is what will happen when your feet are trained. There are some actions that I take that are default settings, right? And one of my default settings is when I'm crying like that or when I'm hurt like that, I call somebody. Generally speaking, my first call is to my sponsor. Now, if I'm doing some things, our 10 steps suggest the first thing I should do is ask God. I ain't trying to ask God right now. I ain't feeling God. God ain't in the equation. Seized with a rebellion, right? And so now I'm in there. Check this out. When you go to the dark, I'm going to give you this one. When you go to the dark, train your feet. I tried to call my sponsor. He wasn't available, but I have a network. So I called one of my other boys, Stan J. He answered the phone. This is the magic. This is what we have available to us. This is what is on offer to each and every one of us. We don't even know what we're signing up for when we come up in here. And what's available is access to. And I call my boy, and this is what happened. And it will happen each and every time you have a transaction with another alcoholic. He three-wayed me. God got on the line. Don't you want to be part of an experience? Don't you want? If you don't, you guys have done something with me, for me, through me, not of me. This grace that's available. I'm not generally able to tap into it by myself. But oh my God, when we get together, how many people in here sponsor? How many of you who got your hands raised when you've been talking to a sponsor or to another member and you sincerely are trying to, how many of you have ever heard something come out of your mouth that you didn't know was in your mouth? He's in the room. He's in the room. If you knew and if you're struggling with this God idea, if you're wondering, is it available to me? Have you ever been somebody that saw somebody and you really were attracted to them? In elementary school, we used to send a note. I wasn't even brave enough to do that. I wouldn't even send a note to, Deborah Singleton. Do you like me? Check yes or no. I was too scared to do that. I'm so scared of rejection. I won't ask the question unless I know the answer is already going to be yes. Anybody else like that? I won't ask the question unless I know the answer is going to be yes. I'm scared of rejection. So I'm scared of asking to enter a relationship. I know it could be a bomb-ass relationship. I know if I step, this would be something but I'm scared because the answer might be what? Answer might be no. How many people in here have done a third step? How many people have said, God, I offer myself to thee? New friends, I want you to look at those hands. How many people have said, God, I offer myself to thee? Okay, put them down. All the people who said, God, I offer myself to thee, how many people in here has God said, no, I don't want you? When you come to the power the answer will always be yes. Our literature says God don't make hard terms. And the interesting thing about that, not only does he not make hard terms, he been waiting on you, Ralph. He been chasing you. I'm a granddad. I wish I had time, you guys, to tell you things that have happened as a result of signing on the dotted line for Alcoholics Anonymous. I wish I had time to tell you how my chest swells about these girls of mine. I wish I had time to tell you about the wonder of Rain White. She's 43 years old. She was 2 when I got to you. She's a practicing attorney in the state of California. She's a wonderful mom. She's the best daughter. Oh, and she's given me great grandkids and sons. I wish I could tell you about River White. She's in London right now. She's on a 2-year program for a master's at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Arts. And she is the light of my life. And she wouldn't be here if I hadn't met you. I wish I could tell you what it feels like, but I don't have to tell you because you have your own experience. When you go to the game and you might go to the game and you might go to the Christmas program and you might see your son or daughter up there and your heart beats loud and it swells and something comes over you. The rest of the parents stay in there for one reason, but we got something else going on because we realize we're here. We're not on a run, we're here. New friends, preview of coming attractions. I'm here. I'm at the graduation. I'm here. I'm at the funeral. I'm here. I'm changing my mother-in-law's diaper. I'm here. That's what's on offer. I'm here. I'm present. I'm available. I'm responsible. I've got intent. Oh my God. Me? You mean this is available for me? And the thing about this business of grace, they're so inviting, so enveloping, so so available. When I go to my grandkids' games, and Artist is 11 and Errol is 6. And so they both play on their own teams. And one of them play at 11 and one of them play at 2 so I can get to both games when I'm in town. And when the game is over and granddaddy's not in town all the time, so they're so excited. They're so excited. And they run to granddad and they grab me. And it occurs to me, my sponsee's on here and they're probably tired of hearing sponsors ramble on about this, but it occurs to me, my sponsor shared it and I was like, wow, every cell, every molecule, every bit of Ralph's DNA is of God. Now, that's not all that God is. God is way more but everything I am is of God, right? So when these boys run at me and my heart bursts, that don't come from me. That feeling is in there that, oh my God, I don't need nothing from my boys. I don't need them going to school saying I got the best granddad. I don't need them going out and bowing down. Granddaddy, I don't need all that. I don't need nothing, but I'm full when they run at me. And I believe that everything that I am is of God. And if that is the case, and I feel like that when my boys are running at me, I wonder what God feels like when his boy is running at him. I wonder, does his heart burst? I wonder, does he make the grace available? I don't have to wonder, I got a track record. When I was a youngster in the program, I used to talk about, oh, it ain't the quantity, it's sobriety, it's quality. And when you ain't got quantity, of course you got to say that. And I'm not minimizing that because it's some of y'all out here that's on fire. And I encourage, yes, you can grow and change just as fast as you're willing to grow and change, but you can't grow and you can't outgrow what some stuff you just gotta have. And so I got 39 years of lived experiences. I got 39 years of dancing with the power. I got 39 years of making messes and him transforming. I got 39 years of every single fear that I've ever encountered, I've had, and I've got 100% survival rate, trusting in the power. I've got, oh my God, I got a 95-year-old mom at home who stays with me. It is the great privilege of mine that I get to walk mom home. Oh, I could have missed it. Could have missed it. I am it. I got a confession to make. And it's a true confession. I came in here out of desperation, but I haven't been that desperate in a long time, you guys. I'm talking to our new friends. And I pray you desperation. So what are you saying to us, sir? You're not here out of desperation. I came out of desperation, but I've here inspiration. That's one of my gifts. You inspire me. I get inspired. I still pinch myself. I got some people that showed up and they go to meetings because they're alcoholics. But I like it and they lie to me and I take the lie. They say they showed up because I'm here. Rick drove a long way. I get inspired. Kristen opens herself up to me and she shows me all. I get inspired. Dave just strips butt naked. I get inspired. Alice comes and goes out of her way to pick me up and she talks to me and I'm on her. I get inspired. I'm an aimless walker. I'm a last gasper. I'm a heartbreaker. I'm a house wrecker. I'm a face planter. I'm a skin my knees kind of guy. Oh, but you'll find me on page 100. You'll find me there. Both you and the new man, go to the middle of the page. And don't trust me, because I might throw a page out just to throw you out. Fact checking. If you persist, remarkable things, I persisted. I've not done it all graceful. I've not done it all right. I've not done it all by the book. I've done it the way Ralph does it because I get in the dirt. I'm not a floater. I'm not a guy trying to go seek enlightenment. I'm not a guy trying to withdraw from the world. I'm in the world. I'm in the dirt. I'm doing it. And as a result of that, I get to get with some people that do it with me. Dee, I see you on there. Lamb, I see you on there. Doug, I see you on there. Oh my God, I'm naming names and I shouldn't because my back is turned. Val, I thought I saw you. Oh my God, And there's some people that's going to be Ralph didn't name me. My back is turned, I've always wanted to do something important. I've always wanted to do something significant. I can think of nothing more important. And I can think of nothing more significant than being a participating member of the life-saving, life-changing experience that is Alcoholics Anonymous. You'll never hear Ralph say, I don't know why I'm sober. I know exactly why I'm sober. I get a blessing so that I can be a blessing. Recovery for me is a gift from God. What I do with my recovery, that's my gift to God. My name is Ralph. I am an alcoholic.